Reincarnation of Kings Chapter 2, Dance of War. As the kings set the stage for war, the chessboard that was once a serene expanse of alternating light and dark squares morphed into a battlefield. The pieces moved in a meticulously orchestrated dance of strategy, each slide, advance, and retreat sending ripples of tension across the field. "Remember," murmured Queen Black, her words cutting through the mounting suspense, "every move carries weight." King White looked across the battlefield, his eyes flickering with an old, familiar resolve. "May the better strategy prevail," he declared, an almost grim acceptance in his voice. Bishop White initiated the fray, cutting across the battlefield diagonally. His footfall on a previously black square echoed like a war drum. The very air seemed to hold its breath as Bishop Black retaliated, matching his move. It wasn't long before the first casualty, a pawn black, was removed from the board. A collective gasp swept through the ranks, stirring the unsettling question, who's next? "Always the pawns first," Knight White said to himself, the words falling heavily. "Always." Queen Black watched the battlefield, her voice barely a whisper. "Such is the nature of our existence. We fight, we fall, we rise again." And sir, the grim spectacle unfolded. Pawns fell first, then knights, bishops, and rooks, each sacrificed in the name of strategy and victory. The echo of past wars, past losses, resonated in the silence that followed each fallen piece. Their cyclical existence began to weigh heavily upon them. The musings of their existential dread became a solemn chorus accompanying the grim dance of war. Rook Black stood, unmoving, watching a Bishop White fall. "How many times has this happened before?" he asked no one in particular. "As many times as there have been games," replied Knight White, a bitter chuckle underlying his words. "And will continue, as long as there are players." King Black, surveying the scene, couldn't help but echo Rook Black's sentiments. "Is this all we are? Pieces in a game? We are what we choose to be," Queen White replied, her gaze steady on the battlefield. "Today, we may be chess pieces. Tomorrow, who knows?" The bleak spectacle of the battlefield, the mounting casualties, the shared dread, it was all a cruel testament to their shared existence. As they played their parts in this cyclical war, each piece began to question the meaning of their being, and, in doing so, started to awaken a new awareness within themselves. With each passing move, the tension on the battlefield intensified, reaching a pinnacle when Queen White, her form radiant against the black and white squares, found herself engaged in a confrontation with Bishop Black. "There is honor in sacrifice," Queen White murmured, her gaze steady on her opponent. Bishop Black inclined his head, a mark of respect for the formidable adversary. The chessboard was a tableau of anticipation, every eye glued to the pair, every breath held in suspense. The queen had always been a force to reckon with, her moves laced with strategic brilliance. Yet, as fate would have it, she was cornered, her potential moves dwindling. With a surge of defiance, Queen White struck, her voice echoing across the battlefield. "I am not yet defeated." Yet the bishop was cunning, countering her attack, moving with ruthless precision. He claimed the square she stood on, the tipping of her form resounding like a muffled drumbeat in the stunned silence. The battlefield stood frozen, time itself holding its breath as the mighty Queen White fell. An audible gasp rose from both sides. The white pieces stood rooted, shock rooting them in place, while a murmur of victorious relief swept the black ranks. King White looked on, the loss of his queen a blow to his strategy and his spirit. "She was our strength," he whispered, a shadow crossing his face. Even Queen Black, from across the battlefield, lowered her gaze. "In every game, there is loss. Today it was her." Knight White spoke up, his voice steady despite the clear turmoil in his eyes. "We must press on. She fell so we could advance." And with Queen White's fall, it became starkly clear, no one was invulnerable. The cycle of war was a cruel dance, and every piece had their part to play, their sacrifices to make. Her fall served as a reminder, a poignant testament to the brutal reality of their existence. In the grand game of chess, even the mightiest could be toppled, and every piece, no matter how insignificant, had a role in the unfolding drama of war. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We release a new story every day.